Welcome to UCEAP 101. Your adventure starts here. We have a lot of information packed into this presentation, so we'll move quickly. Please feel free to take screenshots of any of the slides. We will also have a Q&A session at the end of the webinar, and you can send questions to us in the chat box. Additionally, a recording of this presentation will be emailed to registrants later this week. We know that COVID-19 may be on your mind, so we want to share some information with you here. UCEAP monitors many sources, including international and U.S. health agencies, intelligence services, local health infrastructure, local and regional transmission levels, international entry restrictions, and quarantine and testing requirements. A COVID vaccine may be needed to enter many countries and to participate in daily life activities such as using public transportation or attending events. UCEAP will also provide you with country-specific resources during your pre-departure process. We are currently accepting applications for the 2022-23 program, so be sure to check with your campus study abroad office for deadlines. Due to the current fluidity of the pandemic and worldwide travel regulations, UCEAP recommends that you approach participation with flexibility and patience. We also recommend that you have a backup plan in place should the status of your program change. For your reference, we've included a link to the UCEAP COVID-19 page as well.
Okay, let's highlight the benefits of studying abroad through UCEAP, the official study abroad provider for the entire UC system. At UCEAP, we strive to increase access to the transformative power of study abroad for students of all races, ethnicities, and socioeconomic backgrounds. We believe study abroad prepares the next generation of leaders with the global perspective and intercultural competence needed to effect positive change in our interconnected world. Our programs are designed specifically for UC students. With hundreds of options available, you will find the perfect study abroad program to suit your needs. While on UCEAP, you remain enrolled in your UC campus, which means you do not need to take a leave of absence during your study abroad program, and your UC financial aid goes with you. Additionally, you are guaranteed that all the courses you take abroad will receive UC credit.
We offer you the world. UCEAP has programs based in over 40 countries, and we know that for some students, program selection is all about location, location, location. So when choosing a program, consider where it is you want to spend your time while you are abroad. UCEAP has 3 options available in Africa and 3 in the Middle East. These off-the-beaten-path programs could be an ideal fit for those of you looking to stray a bit from the traditional study abroad experience. From our neighbor to the north, Canada, to the geographically rich region of southern Chile, explore the diversity of experiences available, both inside and outside of the classroom, on UCEAP's programs in the Americas. Expand your horizons beyond the confines of the traditional classroom experience by exploring the most dynamic cities in the world and immersing yourself in their vibrant culture. In addition to our 3 locations in Oceania, UCEAP also offers programs located in East, South, and Southeast Asia. UCEAP has 16 destinations spread over the different regions in Europe, from large cosmopolitan capital cities to cozy medieval towns. You'll find a location that piques your personal interest and allows you to expand your academic and cultural explorations.
UCEAP programs are developed to help students accomplish their academic, career, and personal goals. There are several types of experiences available for you to consider. When choosing a program, it's important to ask yourself about your priorities and what you hope to accomplish while abroad. On an immersion program, you will be in class with local students and select courses from host university departments. With an international program, you will choose classes from a list designed for study abroad students. You'll learn alongside other international students and make friends from all over the world. Our internship and research programs provide you with hands-on experience that can be applied to your academic and career goals. While research and internships are a built-in component of these experience types, they are also optional components of many of our other programs. Language programs offer the opportunity for you to concentrate on learning the language and culture of your host country. Major and theme programs focus on a specific topic or area of study. It gives you in-depth knowledge on a topic such as business, psychology, public health, or sustainability, for example. Multi-site is just like it sounds. You will visit and study in 2 or more locations and explore the unique perspectives in each site. And with UC curriculum programs, you choose courses from a short custom menu designed for the University of California, while also meeting students from around the UC system.
UCEAP offers programs year-round and for different lengths of time. When choosing a program, think about how study abroad fits within your personal timeline. Our academic calendar starts with summer. Because most universities around the world run on the semester system, many of the programs offered by UCEAP are semester long as well. No worries for quarter campus students though. You are eligible to participate on both our quarter and semester length programs. You will just be abroad longer when on a semester program, and your units will reflect this.
Now we'll talk through some of the academic considerations of the study abroad process. As I mentioned earlier in this session, as a UCEAP participant, you will earn direct UC credit for the coursework you complete abroad. This means the courses, units, and grades will post to your UC transcript. They will count towards your total units and GPA and can be used to fulfill specific degree requirements like GEs, breadth, or major courses. As you are considering what study abroad program is best for you, we recommend that you have a conversation with your college or department academic advisor. Together, you can review your degree plan, and they may have recommendations for when is the best time for you to study abroad and what kind of requirements you might want to focus on completing abroad to stay on track towards your degree. In order for coursework from abroad to fulfill degree requirements, you will likely need to submit a petition to your college, department, or academic advisor. As part of this petition, you should include a syllabus so that whoever is reviewing your petition can know the topics covered in the course you took. The petition process may happen before, during, or after your study abroad program. It mostly depends on when syllabi are available to you. You can find syllabi posted on many UCEAP program web pages, or we will link to our host institution websites where you can search for syllabi or course descriptions. And I will talk more about that later in this session. So depending on the program, you may register for courses at the host institution or complete a course preference survey either before your program begins or once you arrive on site. For other programs, the curriculum is the same for all participants, so no registration is required. After your course registration abroad is finalized, you will confirm your courses with UCEAP through the online student portal on what we refer to as a study list. It's the means by which we know every course that every UCEAP participant takes abroad. After the program ends, we will enter your grades from abroad into your study list and send them to your campus registrar to post to your UC transcript. One thing to note is that grades from abroad are not available as quickly as grades at your home UC. So just keep this in mind, especially if you are a graduating senior. And we do have this timeline noted on every program webpage on the UCEAP website, so you'll have a general idea when to expect your grades.
Money matters. The total cost of studying abroad varies by the country due to the local cost of living, round-trip airfare, exchange rates, and individual spending habits. But on average, a year abroad costs about the same as a year at your UC campus. Some programs actually even cost less. UCEAP works with your campus and our partners abroad to make the financial process as seamless for you as possible. As a UC program, UCEAP offers continued UC enrollment and tuition. This means that your UC financial aid travels with you. So students who receive UC financial aid continue to receive grants, loans, and scholarships. All students should plan to submit a FAFSA application. Even if you have not previously received financial aid, you may be eligible when you study abroad. Be sure to apply for a UCEAP scholarship as well because all UCEAP participants are eligible for consideration. You're also encouraged to look into any other funding opportunities that are available to you. UCEAP accountants work with our on-site contacts to create a budget for each individual program. The amount factors in your UC tuition, insurance, transportation, visa processing, activities, housing, meals, books, laundry, and much more. It basically includes everything we expect you will need while on the program. Your campus financial aid office will use your UCEAP program budget to calculate your financial aid package. This means that the amount and distribution will be adjusted to fit your personal situation and specific program cost. Additionally, UCEAP offers an extended payment plan designed to give students an opportunity to pay their UCEAP program fees over an extended period of time. There is no interest charge for this option because the extended payment plan is not a loan. Now that you know all the basics about UCEAP, let's move on to the application process. Applying for a program involves a couple different steps. Please note that the requirements, process, and timeline will vary by program. A general starting point is the UCEAP website. Browse the different programs available and check that you meet eligibility requirements. Most of the programs have plenty of capacity. As long as you meet the eligibility requirements, you will be able to participate. Once you decide which program you are interested in, complete your campus's application process by their deadline. Keep in mind that deadlines can be as early as 9 months prior to the start of the program, and some campuses process applications on a first-come, first-served basis. In addition to your campus application, you must also submit an online UCEAP application for your program. A link is available on the UCEAP website. Once you complete these 2 steps and are selected to move forward with your application, we will then help you with your application requirements for the host institution and your pre-departure logistics, such as securing housing and obtaining proper visa documentation. On a related note, make sure that you have a passport. Most countries require that your passport is valid for at least 6 months after your scheduled return.
All right, we've covered a lot of general topics so far, but you may now be wondering, how do I get more information? And we do want to let you know about a few upcoming info sessions. The first is a session on UCEAP scholarships taking place tomorrow at noon. If you are interested in learning about scholarship opportunities to help fund your study abroad experience, our scholarship coordinator, Bryn, will be sharing examples of strong past student statements and will highlight application tips for new applicants. This webinar will also be posted to the UCEAP YouTube channel afterwards, so you can access that information there as well. And if you haven't heard about UCEAP's Peace Corps Prep program, it's a free self-paced certificate program that lets you master skills you'll need to succeed and can prepare you to apply to the Peace Corps. And the Peace Corps would give you a chance to live abroad and volunteer at the grassroots level. So the PrEP program can significantly increase your chances of being accepted to the Peace Corps. It can also help you stand out at graduation, grab the attention of potential employers, and get a head start in your public service or NGO career. Our Peace Corps Prep Coordinator, Sarah, will be discussing all the details about this program in the info session on March 16th. And here we have listed some helpful resources for you. The first is obviously the UCEAP website, which I will walk through in a moment. Next is a link to UCEAP office hours, where you can schedule a virtual appointment with a UCEAP advisor if you have any questions as you decide on a program. And lastly is the UCEAP YouTube channel, where you can find videos of past info sessions that cover a variety of topics. Okay, so I'm going to back out of this webinar for now, and let's go to the website. So this is the UCEAP homepage. There is, a variety of information as you scroll down, some good videos and other information, but we're going to be focusing on the menu in the top right corner. So there's a couple of different ways that you can search for programs on the website. Go to Explore UCEAP, search by region. So these are the 4 regions that we've divided up. And then if you click into this, you can see the list of countries where we offer programs. And if you select any of these countries, it will populate a list of programs that we offer in that country. Search by field of study. So this is not an exhaustive list of fields of study available at UC, but it is some of the most popular fields of study. And if you select any of these, it will show you a list of programs where you can take coursework in that academic field. And search by experience. So we talked about these experience types earlier in the webinar. So if you're looking to have a particular type of program experience, you can select that here. Say, for example, you want to do research abroad, you can select for that here. All right, the last way that you can find a program is the Find a Program button at the bottom here. So it is a general filter, and it includes all 3 of these parameters, as well as others. So we're going to go to that. Okay, and you can see on the left-hand side are all of the filters that you can apply. And then here on the right are what we call program cards, and it's basically just a quick snapshot of information about each program. And as you can see, we have a lot of programs that we're working with here. So I'm going to run through an example of filtering down, just so that you can see how to, I guess, decrease the amount of programs that you actually have to look through. So if you are looking to study in a particular academic field while you're abroad, I do recommend that you start with disciplines. So these are very broad academic categories, usually encompassing more than one academic field within it. So let me select biology, math, and physical sciences. And then when you select a discipline, it will populate a subfilter here called subject areas. And these are just more narrow fields within the discipline that you selected. So I'm going to pick biological sciences. Okay, so we have cut the total number of programs by over half. These are all the programs where you can study biological sciences abroad. And we should continue to filter though, because 68 is still a lot to work with. So you might want to filter by location, and there's 2 ways to do that. You can filter by region or by country. So let's go region, and I'm going to pick the Americas. So now we're down to 9, which is definitely more reasonable. And then if we scroll down, there are a couple of filters remaining. I think that there are a lot of people who believe that you can only take coursework in English-speaking countries, for example, but that's not true. On UCEAP, you are able to take English coursework in a variety of locations, English-speaking or otherwise. So you can filter by that here, for example, by selecting English. And then these remaining filters, experience type, we've talked about a couple times now. Term, if there's a particular term you want to go abroad, or you know for a fact that there is one term in which you are able to study abroad in order to fit it into your degree plan, you can absolutely filter by that here. And then these remaining 3 filters are related to eligibility requirements. but we are down to 7 programs. So I think we've managed to, bring it down to a really reasonable, manageable number. So I'm going to pick 2 programs here that are quite different. This is Tropical Biology and Conservation in Costa Rica, which you can see is a research program. And I'm going to pick the University of British Columbia in Canada, which is an immersion program. So if you go to the program page, you will see the same kind of quick snapshot of program information like on the program cards on the previous page. For more detailed information, I'm going to walk you through all of these tabs here. So dates and eligibility. So this will list all of the terms that the program is available, and it does include a general timeline of when the program runs. And then if you click the drop-down menu, you can see the specific eligibility requirements for that term. And academics. So this is more detailed academic information about, coursework available, the number of units that you need to take abroad, that sort of thing. It is a lot of information, admittedly, but I do recommend that you read through it carefully. And I do want to bring your attention to this section called Current Program Courses. So as I mentioned, this is a research program, and it is a fixed curriculum, meaning all of the students who participate on this program will be taking essentially the same courses. And I've listed them all here. And you can see these orange links are actually links to syllabi. So you can grab that information, share it with your academic advisor, and begin that conversation about how this coursework could be used to fulfill your degree requirements. Now compare that to an immersion program, University of British Columbia immersion. So on this academics page, you will see in the current program courses section, we don't have any specific courses listed here, and that's simply because you can choose pretty much any course at the host institution, excuse me. So instead, what I recommend that you do is go down to catalogs and resources, and we have a link to the UBC course catalog. And you can see all of their departments listed here. And then you can click into the departments and see the coursework that they offer within that degree. So in this way, it is going to be a little bit more legwork for you upfront, finding courses, but at the same time on an immersion program, your course options are going to be more varied. You'll have a little bit more freedom to decide what you're going to take. So it's really up to you to decide the type of program experience, academic experience that you want to have. Okay, so housing. This will list the type of housing available on the program. And then if you scroll down a little bit further, it just goes into a bit more detail about what the housing entails. And cost. This shows the estimated expenses for each of the terms that the program is available. And again, if you scroll down, there will be further information. You can customize your estimate. So if you input into each of these categories your own specific circumstances, then you can get your own customized estimate for the program. All right, on this next tab is just general information about support and safety. So for example, we've listed orientations here. And essentially what this is saying is that, not only do you have the staff at the system-wide office, but there's also UCEAP study center staff or international office staff at the host institution. And we are all going to be available to help orient you, to prepare you to go abroad. We can provide you with additional information and answer any questions that you may have. So essentially, you are not alone as you are going through this study abroad experience. Okay, how to apply. These are the steps that May was talking about earlier in the webinar for the application process. And we do have a section here on acceptance. And most importantly, are deadlines. So deadlines do vary by campus, and we've linked here to each campus study abroad office website, which lists the specific deadlines for that campus. So you'll definitely want to pay attention to the deadlines that apply to you. Okay, so say you've been looking around the website and you have a couple questions about, UCEAP in general, or maybe you're still deciding, need help narrowing down what program you want to apply to. At the bottom of every single program page on the website, we do have this general UCEAP info email address. So you can feel free to write to that email address and we'll get back to you to answer your questions, provide additional information. But if you know the program that you're going to apply to, or at least the country where you want to study, we also have additional contact information under Explore UCEAP, About UCEAP, and Contacts. So here we have contacts by country, and it's literally every single country where we have programs. And you can see here the contact information. So if you have questions about the academics of the program abroad, you can contact me for programs in Argentina. If you have questions about eligibility requirements or housing or visas, you can contact the program specialist. And then any financial questions you may have, you can reach out to the finance accountant. If you are not sure who of us should answer your question or who you should reach out to, feel free to reach out to one of us, or you can throw all of our email addresses onto the same message, and the correct or appropriate person to answer your question, who knows the answer to your question, will respond to your email. All right, so I think that's it for the website. And I am just going to go back to this page in case you need to grab this QR code before we finish up. But essentially, that was the end of our presentation. Thank you so much for joining us today. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And we will be moving on to a Q&A session now. So feel free to put your questions into the chat box.